It's Fernando Ruiz art.
There we go.
Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in, and today we are going to continue our drawings of Spider-Man. And by popular request, I'm going to push the foreshortening on this one. And I do have a video that speaks a little bit more generally on foreshortening, which I will link to in the comment section below. But I'll also give a little review of what I said in that video as I go along with this one. And I'm still drawing more Spidey. Hopefully this will be of help to my students, all of whom are hopefully watching this, and all of whom are hopefully clicking like as they watch this. Don't even wait for it to end, just click like right now. So what I'm doing here is I'm blocking out Spidey's head. And foreshortening, as I say in my video on foreshortening, it's one of those things that scares a lot of people, that a lot of people have a hard time with, because it's one of those things that either, if you don't get it right, immediately it just looks very, very off. But as I say in everything, in all things drawing, when something is difficult, what we got to do is we got to simplify it. So what I'm doing is taking Spidey's body here, Spidey's figure, and I'm simplifying it into very, very basic shapes. In this case, ovals. And what I'm doing here, and there's going to be some heavy foreshortening going on here with Spidey's arm, is that I'm breaking the components of the arm down into these oval spherical shapes, and I'm overlapping them. So we've got his shoulder, the deltoids, his upper arm, his forearm, and then at the end of his forearm, we're gonna throw down Spidey's hand, which is gonna be in a classic web shooting pose. So the two middle fingers are pressing down on the palm, and the two outer fingers are going to be extended. Okay, and of course the hand is much larger than I normally would draw it, because what I want is for it to come forward, for it to pop out. So, and as usual, as I've said in some of my other videos, I like to pop all over the figure. I don't just like to start at the head and work my way down. I'll jump from one arm to the other arm and put down some legs too. And especially too with foreshortening, you really want to jump around and stay loose, because if you work too tight and the foreshortening isn't working out, you're gonna have to do a lot of erasing. So keep it light, keep your eye on the entire figure, move quickly. There's really not much need to overly labor things, you know, to sit down and sweat over drawing that perfect foot or that perfect ankle. Don't worry about that. Just keep the pencil moving. And if you don't like what you put down, you just erase it and you draw it again. Never be afraid to draw things over. So I'm almost at that point where I think I've blocked in everything where I want it to be. Okay. Got the leg coming forward, the foot coming forward, the hand even more forward. These fingers bending over, folded over the palm. These other fingers extended outward. Forearm, upper arm, a little bit of the trapezius peeking around here. Some abs. And okay. The arm, the other arm, is telescoping away, which means after we draw in the deltoid area, the shoulder area, I'm going to go in, hint at a bicep area, at an upper arm area, which is just peeking out. And then the lower arm, which is furthest away, is going to be smaller. And this hand will just be open as though Spidey had just sprung off a wall, or maybe just let go of another web line. So that'll be like that. Okay, so now, I've pretty much blocked down a figure, a fairly dramatic figure of Spidey. Now I'm going to hint at some of these details as I start tightening him up. I'm putting in the eyes. As I've said in other videos, in other spider videos, not a big fan of the gigantic eyes that a lot of modern artists like to give them. I'm more of a Romita guy, the great John Romita, who did the second, who's the second regular artist on Spider-Man. And it was his version, his refinements on Spidey that probably is the Spider-Man a lot of us think of when we think of Spider-Man. His is probably the Spidey that a lot of us grew up with. That Romita Spider-Man of the late 60s. And I often say he's of the 70s as well because he ended up being on a lot of the merchandise. A lot of the merchandise that we saw in the 70s. So there's Spidey. Got his eyes in place. I usually wait till a lot longer before I start indicating the web pattern. But sometimes I indulge. Sometimes I like noodling. The rest of him I could start to shape and indicate. I don't know if I'm going to go in. Probably won't have the time to go in and, oops, pressed down a little too hard and I broke my own pencil point. So I was saying I probably won't have the time to go in and do all of the webbing. But, and I've talked about the webbing in other videos, so you could always look it up. Or you could always look me up on Instagram or Facebook, where I'll probably post the finished version of this drawing, the one that's all the way done. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do so. I'm Fernando Ruiz, everybody, on Instagram. And a lot of artwork that I post goes up there first. So please follow me there. And also, too, I do have a website. And I really should get back to posting more on that website. But a lot of what I've been doing lately has been trying to grow this channel. So if you're a supporter of this channel, if you like what I've been doing at all, please keep tuning in, keep watching. Now, we've talked about how these darker areas on Spidey's costume, these patches of blue and black, and in the live chat we had a little talk about what these blue-black areas really are supposed to be. Are they really blue? Are they black? I was surprised at how many people really subscribe to it being black. I would think that's a old school philosophy. I mean, for me, I see it more as being blue because, like I said, I'm an old Romita fan, and he really seemed to push the blue parts as being blue more than anything else. The good thing about these darker areas is you could lay down a lot of black and they could hide a lot. So you don't have to worry about getting too detailed with Spidey's thighs. Do indicate the kneecap though, and I come down the shin, and then usually I will shadow the calves, the calf muscles as they peek around. Maybe indicate a little bit of the rectus femoris. As I said, I'm not going to get into the webbing. But like I said, you could see the finished piece when I post it on Instagram. And a little bit of some more darkness here, probably a cast shadow off that arm. So I'm going to just throw a big black there, and then use black to indicate a little bit more anatomy on this thigh. Maybe leave a nice big blue highlight. Let's see how would the maybe on this side the blue will peak. And something I'm always a fan of is, we're not going to see that much of it, but it's still there, that underarm webbing. Okay, so there is Spidey with a whole lot more foreshortening. I don't know if I even defined it before, but of course foreshortening is whenever we take a figure and we give it more, we pull forward aspects of that figure, details of that figure. We pull it forward, we exaggerate its proportions in an effort to make that figure look like it's three-dimensional, look like it's part of it or all of it is coming at us. So in this case, we wanted Spidey to look like he's swinging at us, and I hope that we've been able to do that. I'll just do this little bit of webbing, because Spidey's face sure looks bare without it. So I'm almost wrapping this up. Like I said, check me out on Instagram, Fernando Ruiz, everybody, and you could see the finished version of this. And I hope if you like this, that you will click like. As I said, foreshortening is a very tricky thing. It's not an easy thing to do. I hope this has given you some pointers on foreshortening. And as always, if you have any questions at all, please post them in the comments section below. Thanks a lot for tuning in. That is, foreshortening, I just want to say real quick, is the sort of thing we may be coming back to again and again in these videos. So keep checking back and subscribe. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Keep drawing and keep drawing. Bye-bye, everybody.